This video is for operation of the Weighlog 200. Typically the Weighlog 200 would be hooked to the ignition switch and would power up each time that you start the equipment that it's mounted on. For operation, the operation of the unit is actually quite simple. The channel, these channels 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are used for various attachments. In our particular case, we only have one attachment, so we are lifting in channel number 1. We do have the unit set to manual at this point, a manual bucket add. So if you have a question about how to change that between manual and auto, please refer to the calibration video that would explain to you how to change that in the calibration. In this particular case, we're just simply going to show how to operate the unit with manual bucket adding. So to operate the unit, I have a simulator here that will simulate weight and the lifting of the bucket. So in this particular case, we are going to just go into the pile, roll the bucket back, and simply lift. And it displays a weight. This is 3.32 tons. If we wish for that weight to be added to our total, if we're loading a truck or whatever, we may wish to have that accumulate. We can press the clear enter button. You can also use the remote enter button. The remote enter button would be the white plunger button that would be located next to the hydraulic lever. So we've dumped 3.32 ton onto the truck. At this point, when we lower the bucket, it actually displays 3.32. And we get another bucket of material. This time it's 2.28. And the total, of course, is 5.61. In order to clear this particular channel, this is one of the questions that we get quite often, you do not use the 0 key. That is a common mistake, that people press and hold the 0 key thinking that this is going to go back to 0. The remote enter button is the easiest way to do this. While you're on the channel, you simply press and hold the remote enter button, and as you can see, it clears that particular screen back to 0. If you were to use the middle button and go over to the totals channel, though, you would see it that it is in the totals. If you wish to use this for daily tons loaded, you can. And again, the same procedure would be used to clear that by pressing and holding the remote enter button. Unit will flash and then it will go to 0. So we've shown you how to add a bucket and how to clear the display. The one last thing that we should show in this video is indeed how to use the 0 key. So if you press and hold the 0 button, when the display is flashing, you would simply make sure that the bucket is empty and do a normal lift. Now in my particular case, it was close enough to 0 that it just went ahead and set it all by itself. But I'm going to put a little bit of weight on it. I'm going to do it again so that you can see that it will zero out whatever's in the bucket. The reason for doing a 0 would be, simply put, that you have something stuck in the bucket that wasn't there before. In that case, when I lifted, and it was very momentary, it read 0.13 tons. And that was the material that was stuck in the bucket, and now that material, because it's not going on any truck, has now been zeroed out. The weighing after a 0 is the same as it would be for any of the channels. They would all be the same. The print button is used just as it as you would imagine. It's used to initiate printing if you have a printer hooked up. The ref key is not used in normal operation at all. The middle key is used to select the channels. We've already sort of demonstrated that. And the clear enter button is used in conjunction with the remote enter button to add buckets if you have it set in manual. That will conclude our operation video for Weighlog 200.